Welcome to my video where I'm going to show you how to paint a sky for your airplane models. In this case, I did the SR-72 Darkstar from Gun Maverick, and I originally had used a printout using some high quality printer paper on my inkjet printer, but unfortunately, as you can see, some of the paper started to wrinkle over time. So I decided to just go ahead and paint that with my airbrush and make it more permanent and hopefully better looking. Of course, you start off by doing a coat of primer, a black primer for the base, and then I masked off the area that I was going to paint. In this case, the curved surface was really difficult to mask off effectively, so as you can see, I decided to use much smaller strips and then fine-tune the edge as I went. Once the masking is done, I'll go over with a layer of white paint, and then I start to layer in the Tamiya Sky Blue, and making sure I keep the top and the bottom of the base a little bit darker than the center. That is to create the sense of a horizon. And in order to darken it up some more, I go over with some flat blue. Again, keeping the top and the bottom darker. And then using the same flat blue, I go in a little bit heavier at the bottom there to create shadows of the clouds on the terrain. And again, this is about layering, so don't go in too heavy initially. You want to just sort of block out the clouds and the formations and where they might be. In my head, I'm picturing them, obviously from the camera angle, they would be a little bit flatter at the bottom and a little bit more at an angle as you go up the base. So as you can see, I started off with bigger blobs and shapes, and as I go up, I thin them out so they become a little bit thinner to give you a sense of perspective. Again, this is about layering, so don't go too heavy. You just really want to put it in there lightly. You don't want to get too close to the airbrush because at this point, we don't want too much of the fine detail. Same here, so now I'm starting using the white, and again, I'm just blocking out my clouds. I'm kind of creating the shapes and the placement and the composition of the whole thing. You want to think about the clouds as volumetric shapes, so not just flat pieces of white. So you want clouds, obviously, if you look in the sky, they're rounded, they're flat, they have all different kinds of shape, and you have to think about how the light plays on those shapes. Again, keeping it very, very light. You see how far away I am with the airbrush. You'll notice later as I go in the detail, I'll get the airbrush much closer to the model itself. So I've blocked out my shapes and my placement of my clouds, and you can see they're a little bit thicker at the bottom and they thin out a little bit as we go up. And in this case, I'm starting to put in a little bit heavier shades of white to, again, kind of pull out the shapes and the volume of the clouds to make sure the light is bouncing in the correct way. I'm also getting, as you can see, a lot closer to create a little bit more detail, so you get those soft little tiny bits of clouds here and there to kind of give it a little bit more detail and more life. You want to make sure to keep it scattered enough to make it look realistic. Once the painting is done, then it's time to remove the masking tape and see what kind of results you get. Again, as the surface was curved, it was very difficult to get it a nice clean masking line, and I did get some bleed through. onto the black paint. But that's okay, because the handy dandy paintbrush comes into play here, and you just very carefully, using the same black paint, just manually cover up the mistakes. It's a little slow and a little tedious, but the results are great. And finally, give it a couple of layers of clear coat. In this case, I use Mr. Super Clear Semi-Gloss. It is a protective layer so you don't damage your paint or have it fade from UV exposure. I was a little heavy-handed with my clear coat here, so just be careful when you do yours to not cause any runs or damage your paint by putting in too heavy of a concentration of clear coat. And here's the result. I think it's a much more improved version of the base that I had originally. Don't have to worry about the paper wrinkling, tearing, or fading over time. What I suspect happened was because the base was printed in resin, there might have been some off-gassing after the curing process, or there might have been some moisture trapped inside, which obviously reacted poorly with the paper. So, I think this is a much better result. I hope you agree.